the organizer of this brilliant event. Can I please call up Tommy Tile?
We're going to leave at the door negative mindsets. We're going to leave at the door timidity. We're not going to be shy. We're going to be confident. We're going to only Sasha,
to readjust to your crown.
Shayna, you've got your salon, which is amazing. It's doing amazingly well, it's flourishing. You specialise in braids. How did you do that? How did you get to that specialist of doing braids?
You have to enjoy braids. I know a lot of people come at the prices of braids, and if you are standing there for, I don't know, 8-9 hours a day, like, that's a long stretch. You're expected to make that.
You've got to charge your time.
Yeah, you do. The time is very important, and also providing hair care. So you give them advice like what would suit them, what is going to do well for their actual hair, what will last longer. So you're not just a braider.
There's two different skills in it. So obviously, because I'm naturally a people person and I genuinely care for people, I guess being responsible for people was something that I found easy, especially because of the experiences that I experienced when I was in employment. So I also had to learn that if I'm going to play nice boss, I then have somebody who's a bit more of, my friend called it a firewall. What taught me in that moment is that when I was trying to build a team from desperation, I was losing discernment. So, for example,
literally, I felt like an imposter, to be honest. I felt like, how am I going to get a salon? And I found a space and I went for it. So I went to the viewing and whatever. And I was like, this looks very good. Again, not knowing how I'm going to do this. I was just being obedient. For some reason, I had this thing inside me that I just knew was the right thing to do. So anyway, went to view the space and I was like, this is really good. And by the way, this is after I had originally called them and they told me that it had gone. So they called me back 2 days later. Anyway, so now I'm viewing the space. I was like, this is amazing. And they said, you know what? Somebody's in the process of leasing this, but you can have it if you want it. And I thought, wow, that's good.
I mean, to be really direct, in this day and age, if you aren't visible and people can't see what you actually are promoting, can't see the value in it, the transformation that it provides, then there's too much competition. There's a lot of people out there. They might not have your qualities. You are your brand, and that's why people feed into you. So even as brand owners, it's important for you to be visible as well. That's what gets you speaking events. If you hid behind your brand, you wouldn't be on this panel now. And any events that you attend, it's because the owners put themselves out there so that people know who they are, what their brand stands for. In this day and age, because competition is so fierce, you have to be someone that people align.
Whatever you're doing in your business, be annoyingly loud. Don't think, oh my gosh, I'm posting too much. Thank you guys, thank you ladies. So we're going to move on to the Dubai panel. So if I could have our
sister, it's okay to take time out to readjust to your crown. Make yourself the wise type.
All of these ladies decided to pack up and literally just make the move. So how was the transition from moving to the UK over here and then getting made redundant?
Scary. Very, very scary. I feel like Dubai is very different to the UK when it comes to working in general. Being made redundant in the UK, there was a lot of things in place. For example, I think people get ring fence, where it's okay, you get given your letter on the day, and that would be it, you were finished. I'm a very entrepreneur mindset. From a very, very young age. I remember in secondary school, I was going around piercing people's ears to make money. So I knew I'd make something work, but at the time, again, I was 24, turning 25. So still very young.
I think here, I think like anything else, it's challenging and it comes to these challenges, but I think just like anything in life has its challenges. We have to, first of all, know who we are and know that we're not in any space that you are placed in. If you know who you are and what your offer is and what you're here to do, and you stay grounded and rooted in that, especially in a space like Dubai, where it's very easy to get lost in the noise in everything that's happening. If you remain grounded in who you are, that allows you to be able to build and to be able to, whatever it is that you want to pour into or what you want your influence to be, you're able to do that. You are that which you dream. So it is challenging, it is scary. I think I'm still in this space where I'm like, is this gonna work? But I think as a role, I think God is creating here and there's a reason for that. And if you just allow yourself to be that visible, there's no limits of what it is that you can do, and you can become.
I just woke up one morning, I went for a church program, and then the man was preaching, he said, mind you guys, any church in Dubai, I know them. Trust me. On Sundays, I go to like 2 churches. On my Sundays, I dedicate for God. I love God so much, I don't joke with God. So on Sundays, I go to 3 churches. On Saturday, I go to 1 church. So in a week, I go to 4 churches in a week. So that's how serious I am with God. And I went to that program, and the man said, oh, the thing you're scared of doing, go and do it. And I woke up on Monday, I started looking for a salon. I think one of the people said that. I started looking for a salon, and then the first one I thought, I'm like, I don't like this place. I don't have money. I don't have, like, a lot of time, people are scared of doing things without knowing the details. Try to always know the details of things you're scared of. So I started looking for, and I got a place. I heard the price, I'm like, this is not a lot of money, but still I don't have money. Because they asked me for a budget and I don't have money. And I can tell you, on Tuesday morning, I prayed to God. I said, God, I'm doing according to what you want me to do. And on Tuesday, I can tell you, I had a client from nowhere. She bought a week of, I cannot even mention the price to you guys. It covered my rent, my whole rent for a year. On that, I said, let me get around with it. So Monday, I took a step. On Tuesday, God showed up. And that was when I got the salon. And I can tell people that my salon, my journey is a product of this. Thank you.
Fantastic.
You've got professionals, business owners who are of a certain earning level, but then you've got lower paid manual workers, labourers who don't have that kind of financial backing. So what you find is that you've got places where people will rent bed spaces and have, rooms divided into like 10 for like, however many people in doing that. So property is a big market. Off-plan, buying property, all of that is going on. People moving in with floods, but proper co-living. I think I'm probably one of only 3 operators in the whole city legally registered.
So thank you, ladies, for the panel. Thank you. Right, so we're going to have a small break. If you want to grab yourself some food in the next room, grab yourself a drink.
Deep down, there's hope in every trial. Resting in your presence, walking through the fire.
Hey guys, so we're at the Women Empowerment Business Event in Dubai. As you can see, the room is absolutely packed. It's lunchtime now, so we're just getting a little, recharge before we go back in for fire. And it's been absolute fire upon fire. It's been nuggets upon nuggets.
Honestly, so far it has been 10 out of 10. Legitimately, I didn't really have much expectations of what I'm going to come here and experience, what's going to be like, what the vibe was going to be like. But as soon as I walked in, I saw so many women dressed the part, looking the part, listening attentively. I knew it was going to be an event I'm going to learn from. I literally brought my notebook and I'm so glad I did.
If you're not here, then you've missed out. Just look at the room.
I lived in Dubai for 9 years, and I can tell you, when I entered this room, I felt the energy. If you have a dream and you want to achieve it, and you want that energy to be filled with you so that you can be, inspired and everything. And not only inspired, the ladies are talking about taking action and they're sharing their real life stories. I would recommend this 100%. The energy is unexplainable. That's all I can say.
What was the ultimate thing that made you hand your notice in from what most people would see as a dream job? What was the ultimate thing that made you say, all right, cool, that's it, we're moving?
So there were a couple of things. So whilst the first thing that made me realise like I wasn't going to stay in investment banking forever was actually during my internship. So this was my very first experience at my dream firm, right? This is JP Morgan, one of the biggest investment bank in the world. And I remember during my internship, a couple of the seniors, like the VPs, the EDs, they were having a conversation. And they were complaining about money, right? I just got into banking and the starting salary there, and the starting salary now maybe around 70K, but then it was around 50K. And I was like, this is everything. I'm earning more than my mom. Like after years and years of work, so I was like, this is everything. Surely I'm going to be financially, in a good place. They were still complaining about money, and they were complaining about the same thing that my mom was complaining about, right? Like I'm like, how is this a thing? So then I realized even these people don't have the financial freedom that I'm truly seeking after.
So it's so important, ladies. Embrace change. Make yourself uncomfortable. Make yourself uncomfortable because you're not going to get change without making yourself uncomfortable.
Okay, so I set up Let's Talk DSB, it'll be 2 this month. So I decided actually, and I think again it's around purpose, I am also a Christian, and God definitely told me to tell people about my wilderness season. It's very much a wilderness season, and then tell them about me. Because it's only the grace of God that I can actually talk about my divorce now. Not crying, it's smiling in a way, because it was built on purpose. So Let's Talk is definitely built on purpose, came to purpose. So that's what made me start playing authentic conversation, because I think in Dubai as well, I have people coming and they're like, oh, you must be at the beach every weekend. I closed my laptop last night at 11 p.m. So I think it's also the reality of the good and bad and how you navigate it when you're away from your family.
I would say if you're not on social media, or you are, and I think the most important thing I'd say is to be authentic, which is a easy job, I think, to just be yourself. Don't go on social media acting that way, because you will get called out at some point. Do you know what I mean? It's very important to be authentic in a way. I know you mentioned cancel culture thing. I feel like we live in a very sensitive time. We're not saying that we go back and live. A lot of creators are just very scared to be perceived a certain way, or very scared to just show them who they are because of, yes, you're tied to certain sponsorships and everything like that. So why I say from the beginning, be who you are so that you can get the right sponsorships for you.
Thank you guys. I just want to thank the panel as well. She's a trailblazer in so many rights. She's a record breaker in many ways. An international speaker. She actually is very funny as well. I've got to know her. It's quite hilarious. So I just want to give this lady a round of applause as she comes up to do a keynote for you. Please can we give a round of applause for Hayley Melinda.
How you guys feeling? Yeah! Come on, we need to fly to a rock. How you guys feeling? Yeah! That's good. You guys know I'm gangster. Number one, discernment. Discernment. Let me tell you guys something. Your greatest battle will not be bad versus good. Your greatest battle will be good versus God. Just because it's good doesn't mean it's good. And if you're not discerning, you'll settle for good when God has something greater. Watch out for your desires. Because sometimes your desire will blind your discernment. This thing called integrity is everything. Let God deal with you privately so the devil doesn't have you publicly. So as we end this, you guys get out your phone. Write down what do you want. I'm not just talking about money, I'm not just, what do you want for yourself? What do you want for your life? If it's to come to Dubai, when are you moving to Dubai? Give the dates, deadline it. What do you want? Raise your hand up if you've done it. Raise your phone, your notepad, when you've done it, when you've written, start, keep your hand there. Your phone. Hand up, keep your hand up. I want you to repeat after me. I will try my best to do what I said that I'm going to do. I will be a product of my vision and not my environment. I will be disciplined. I will starve my distractions, my desires. I will feed my discernment and my discipline. Give me some round of applause.
Absolutely incredible. Sometimes you've got to get into the mind of the people that do great things. And Tommy does great things. So come up, sis, let's have a chat.
To take time out.
Tell your audience a bit about yourself. What's your story? Why are we all here today?
So, the reason why you're all here today is because I'm so passionate about women in business. And the reason why I'm so passionate is because I am a woman in business and surpassed even what I thought that I could do in business. I really have a depth of understanding. I grew up with a can-do attitude. I've got a soft place in my heart for hair because a lot of in the black community, certain businesses are looked down upon, certain businesses are overlooked, and hair is one of them as well as other industries, right? So I've got a background in hair. Started off with my mum. Me and my husband, we got married quite young, and this year we'll be married for 10 years, right? With my hair background, I got broken at a point. I got broken because I was obsessed with my business. And it was like an unhealthy obsession. Everything came last. My business came first. Money came first. There's a book in the Bible called Proverbs. Proverbs, there's a chapter 31 about a woman, okay? And it says in that chapter, it references about 5 times that she works. She works. She looks after her kids. She looks after her man, but she works. And it's not said once, it's said about 5 times. So if it's not possible for you to do it, okay, so why have many women done it before you? So the reason why you're here is just to let you know that whatever stage you are in your life as a woman, whether you're single, whether you're married, whatever, whether you feel like you've passed it, you feel like, I'm not in my youth anymore, I'm past it now. No, it's not true. It's a full-blown lie.
There's a click, there's a switch that needs to be switched on to be clicked, right? You talk about there's an itch that needs to be scratched to take yourself to the next level, to get yourself out of the box that you don't sometimes realize that you're in. And your businesses, what was the itch that you needed to scratch to be here today? Because you were a teacher.
Yeah,
you were a teacher, yeah? That wasn't good enough for you. There's nothing wrong with teaching, but that wasn't good enough for you. There was an itch that you needed to scratch. What was it?
Oh, I love that question. So, I was a teacher, secondary school teacher. I used to teach girls in South London, like bucket girls, When you know you're in an environment and you know that you're made for more, that's it. No one's got to tell you. No one's got to force it upon you. You haven't even got to watch motivation. You haven't got to be here. You just have that all-knowing that I'm more than this. I'm better. Not in a big-headed way. No, it's not big. You're not arrogant. You're not cocky. You just believe in your own source. That's all it is. And sometimes you don't actually realise your mindsets come from childhood. It's so deep. I've had so much work on this section. Sometimes you're caged from childhood because all you've seen is your mum earn 2k a month and your grandmum earn 2k a month. So you think, the best I can do is 3k a month. It's from childhood, so deep set. Whatever itch, and I do call it an itch, whatever itch you have in the stomach, scratch it, scratch it. If it's to go and do hair in America, go and do it. What have you got to lose? If it's to come and move out to Dubai, do it. You've heard this all today, the whole consistent theme is to do it.
Thank you for empowering us all. Do you all feel empowered today? Thank you so much for this whole event.
Thank you. As a chief and amazing co-host. Oh my gosh, that's what next. Wow. I'm here. I'm actually hosting a business retreat in Bali in November. So you're all invited. It's going to be 3 days of me. No, you're going to have me, you're going to have some other people as well, right? And we're just going to have some intense time together, right? We're going to break shackles, break mental blockers, we're going to break strongholds, and you're going to step into what you need to step into. So you should have all received a leaflet which has a QR code. So if you are interested in the retreat, then scan that. And also, if any of you have been touched today and you want mentorship and you want me to hold your hands to the next level, also on the leaflet, there's another QR code as well if you want to get involved in any type of mentorship.
I am currently a teacher, right? And I know it's not, we are teachers. It's hard, you can't do it forever, right? So, earlier you spoke about like not necessarily needing purpose. And you don't necessarily need to have a purpose. And how do you do a pivot from like such a secure job where like, you know, you're okay now, but it's not where you want to be? How do you then take that bravery to pivot elsewhere when it's so difficult?
Yeah, currently in the 9 to 5, and you want to do something, you have to work it around, be unsociable, don't go out on the weekends, right? Don't have a life, right? Go to work, get back home and go to work, right? And you know, that will then show you, can this thing work? Because not everybody's a crazy risk taker, and I appreciate that. Especially as you get older. Let's keep it real. As you get older, you've got kids, you've got this, you've got, you can't be like, I'm going, I'm doing it. You know, so pace yourself in it. But don't water down your idea because you think, oh, I need all this time. No, because really, you should be able to start something up, even with a 9 to 5. If you really want it that bad, you're going to do it, mate.
Full-time social worker, and I really scaled my business because I wanted to do my hair extensions full-time. I wanted to open up a salon, but it was actually my wedding that really pushed me to scale my business. And then I would go and do clients, and then I'd work on my business after work. But I don't do hair anymore. I don't work in my salon, but I've still got that obsessive mentality. So there does have to come a point where you take yourself away from it, and I think I'm still working on that. But if you are working a 9 to 5 job, you have the ability to even give it 2 hours every single day.
I think I remember speaking to you, Tommy, about working 9 to 5 as an estate agent.
Yes.
But working, coming home to clients with my children in the house, weekends, I didn't have a life. Yes. So adding back to that, you definitely can. And if you want to try it out, like have one foot in just to see if it works, don't have to take that complete risk to leave your dog behind, but definitely just try it, do a thing from the side, and then just see if you can actually take that risk to go all throughout it. Definitely. But I think a lot of the same stories happen with a lot of the entrepreneurs here that do start their businesses.
Absolutely. So, also, I forgot to mention Shayna. Shayna's salon owner, next to is her daughter. Next to Shayna is her daughter. And Shayna actually was a young mom, and she's got an amazing business, she's done it with adversity. And her daughter now works in her salon. How beautiful! How beautiful! So we can touch on all this. I just want to mention what a role model for you to the child.
And I think there was what you said today, like I was meant to be a statistic. Like you was meant to, I was set up to do nothing basically. Right. You was to put me on paper, a young mum. My life hadn't even started, so I think I just worked through all of those obstacles that were meant to be for me, and just to make greatness for my life, especially having those children. They're watching me, and to give back to them and make sure that they have a mum that they can be proud of and look up to and work just as hard to make a success and give back to whoever they give back to as well. It's very, very
For me, it's been a very interesting dynamic with being black, being melanin. The industry that I'm coming from is very, it's not necessarily for darker skin types. So my question is, what advice would you give to someone who is not necessarily in an industry that's for them, if that makes sense? Because, for example, say with hair, or with, there's a lot of people in this room that, like you said earlier, we can all share. There's room for everybody in the hair industry. For me, per se, with laser, that hasn't really been the case. There isn't a lot of rooms that are open where I would feel comfortable to say, okay, yeah, that's very welcoming, it's inviting. Most of the time, I'll be the only black person in there. So what kind of advice would you give in terms of future, moving forward, and how to kind of have I have a niche, yeah. So it is my niche. I do specialize in black skin. So that's where I found my gap. That's why I said, okay, I'm going to branch out. I'm going to take the risk and create something for myself.
So I would be in a room with 500 to 1,000 people, and me and my business partner would be the only black people in that space. And if we saw someone across the room who might be black or a little bit melanated, it felt like they were avoiding us and that they didn't want us to be in that space with them. So we had to create that space. You have to be the person who is the pioneer, who is creating that space, because trust me, there are 50, 60, 100, 200 people who look exactly like you, who have the same education background as you, the same upbringing as you, but they feel like that space is not for them. So you have to be the person who is bold enough to say, if you don't want me in that room, I'm going to create that room for myself and show the people who look like you that it is possible for them also.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much, guys.
Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame.
This is my first networking event in Dubai. So many inspiring women. I've heard so many inspiring stories. I've learned so many gems, so many lessons. I'm honestly having such a great time. Just networking and learning from these women's journeys and how to apply it to my own journey and how to better my journey. It's a space I definitely feel like we need way more events like this. It's been such a good day.
See through the counterfeit, I want the realest. Where he come from, you can't get. It's so full inside this house, I feel like DJ. I can't fight it, let your light come shine on me. Yeah. Ain't no hiding, I'm confiding in your peace. Yeah. Carrying buckets of shame. Father, I'm saying your name, but so far from it. Can't see the blood in my veins. For me, he bleeding the same. Take this cup.
Okay, right guys, we've just finished the day. I've just got home. We've had an amazing day. I'm absolutely knackered, but it's worth it because it's an amazing day. Great speakers, great networking. Guys, all I've got to say is just make sure you don't miss the next one. Bye guys.